Well, it's the end of November, and over the past few days, I've been looking at the sales, and I picked up this header for grain that I'm going to need, and a front mower in the sales. I also picked up a bucket that wasn't in a sale, though. I'm just going to need a bucket. The major thing is my pig barn is up, as well as another small shed and a CCM mill. So let me get these repaired. Might as well repair everything. I was definitely super happy about the header because I was definitely going to need that. The mower was, well, it'll make it a little faster to get my grass done. Wasn't something I was super looking for, but not sad about either. I will move everything around later. I am going to grab a bucket full of corn and put it in the place the static mill. That way some of that will be ready when I get my pigs. I'm going to have to go and buy some brewer's grain. Just a tiny little mill. I think that's all I can hold. Let me turn off the dry corn. Yeah, that's all I can hold. So let me activate the corn grain grist or corn cob mix. It can also do grain grist, but I don't need that. So let me, well, you can just stay right there. Turn off. I'm gonna grab, oh wait, no, I do need you because you need to move things. So I can grab the tipper and go get some brewer's grain. And I need the Kubota to do it because it has the what do you call that? The wrapper in front of it. So let me drop that off and grab this and swing around so I can grab the back mower. It's been a while since I got the tipper out, so I imagine that it's probably gotten a little stuck in there. But let's grab the truck. Now I put the Duca buy points in when I first set up the map. I'm pretty sure I put this at the beer factory production point. Yep, there we go. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, it wasn't too bad. So let's see. Let me go to the map. Pretty sure the beer production is over here. Oh, there we go. Brewer's Green. Beer factory, there we go. So that's just past Patterson, so take at the first light, I'm going to take a left and go get some brewer's grain. Well, here is the Yingling Beer Factory. Let me open this gate. Yep, I thought I was a little too close, but that's okay. So I have the Duca Brewer's Grain thing right over here. And I'm just gonna grab a whole tipper's full. It doesn't cost that much. And I can't put it in my silo, but I put down a clamp. You can ferment this. And the fermented or base version works for the same feed type for the pigs. So I'll have some to feed to my pigs and then I'll ferment the rest of it. And there we go. Yeah, not much at all. So let's open this gate so I can, well, actually open the gate so I can get this back up to my farmyard and then I can actually go and work on getting the pigs. So I will see you soon. I'm down here at the store now. I brought the Brewer's Grain up to my farm. So I need a way of getting my animals. And I want to transport because I'm going to want to be selling pigs pretty often. So that can hold 13. It's kind of big though. Like I'd like to be able to hold 13, but I'd also like it to be able to fit in my barn. And I think this is the only one that can really fit in the barn. It can only hold 8. It will match my tipper though. So I'm gonna get this one. And I also need a way of getting straw. I can't use a straw blower. I could for the straw, but it wouldn't work for the corn stalks. So I am going to also get this. I've modified that to be 5,000 liters instead of 2,500, and I also had to change the fill type because that one, instead of just being a mixer wagon, it just listed the fill types it accepted. So I just changed that to be a default mixer wagon. The brakes on this, not the best. Okay, so I'm going to get the mixer wagon loaded into the bed of the truck, which is going to require super strength. And sometimes super strength bugs that out and then you have to use tab. Lock that down, and then I'm going to get this animal transport. You can see on there that the straw accepts straw, soybean straw, and corn stalks. No matter which of the 3 you put in there, it will be considered straw. So we'll change the fill type, which is how, if you don't have Maize Plus, that's how it works on this map anyway. Maize Plus, I had to do the same change that the map did because Maize Plus overrides the map. So the animal dealer is right here. In fact, you can see where the icon is because that's not an icon that disappears with the turn off icons. Okay. Unfold that. You don't have to. I just like to. And then I'm gonna get 2 of each kind. So 2 landrace sows. Berkshire. And black pied. And now I can bring these up to my farmyard and get them into the barn. Okay, so just have to go over here. You see I have my brewer's grain in a stylo's clamp. And I can try to go in there correctly. I have to be a little bit this way to get the prompt. There we go. Let's unfold that. And then I can that and move to husbandry. Let me just get this out of the way, which is very awkward. But there we go. I'll have to put that away and get the mixer wagon in a bit. But I can do that in a bit, because the food will be more important. Just drop that there. I'm gonna have to do a lot of moving of equipment later. But that's okay. I need the bucket though, so I can get some food. Now they won't have all 4 types of food because I believe that's their moisture that they won't have. Let's see, pig. Yeah, moisture, because I don't have any kind of root crop or chopped maize. But I have corn, which is their energy food. I believe the food trigger was right around here. I can go down to animals. They now have energy food. And then I can get some CCM, which will be their concentrate food. And I only have 6, so they don't eat a crazy amount anyway. This is actually, I believe, enough to get through a day. So they now have 60% of the food they want. And then I have the brewer's grain, which is the protein food. I don't think I'm gonna take too much now, because there might be some spillage later. So I'll just take this amount, and then I'm going, so they can start getting some health. And then I'm going to smush that down, and then grab a little more, so that it can last them until the brewer's grain is fermented. And their health is starting to go up now. They're at 6%. I don't know if they're going to get high enough health to be reproducing by next month, seeing how next month is tomorrow. I think they have to get to 70% at least. And that's something, like, you don't need to feed them all of their food to get to 100% health, but they do gain their health faster if they have all of their food. Which is also something if you want to sell the babies instead of waiting a few months. You can sell them faster by having all types of their food, because they'll get up to 100% health, and they're more profitable if you get them up to 100% of their health. But there we go. That is the brewer's grain silage is all cleaned up now. And that should last for a while. And that is for their protein food. Yes. Which is something that after that's done, I'll have soybeans for, which is the same type. Okay, so I'm going to need bale spikes. Because I'm gonna give them a straw bale for bedding. So I'm going to need to get the mixer wagon off the truck and hook it up to the John Deere. Let's get that lower, so hopefully it'll be easier to get a bale into it. Now I will eventually want to get a manure separator. I'm thinking I'll want the mobile one, but we'll see. I'm a while away from caring about that. Okay, so there it is. And as you can see, it says straw. So let's bring this in there, and I can give the pigs some bedding so I can get some manure. It won't be a crazy amount because I only have 6 pigs, but that should go up pretty quickly. It only takes like 4 months. And I do have enhanced animal additions, obviously. I have baby sheep. But that means that I have more than 1 pig born. But yeah, they now have straw. They have 3 kinds of food, and their health is improving. So there are my pigs. And while they do have a double gate system, pigs, in my experience, like to try to escape. So I will close the gates when I'm not actively working on them. Now the only other thing I have to do this month is my sheep. My sheep need water. They're not out, but they're getting pretty low. So they have 550 liters of water left. And that would actually get them quite a while. They don't drink that much, but I don't like being that low. So I am going to grab the water tanker here. And go fill this up in the lake over on the right side of the map. Oh, okay, let me go open this gate. Now the sheep still have plenty of food. I imagine there's even still some in the buffer. So I don't know if I'm even going to need the bales I made for them to get through winter. We will see. It won't be too long until there's enough of them to need at least some. But let's give them some water. Yeah, I think they take 5 months, so another 4 months. And I'll have a bit more. Like out of the 30 females, I got 46 last birthing. I'll be selling the male ones at some point, but I don't have to worry about that yet. Get them worth a bit more. But there we go. I now have my sheep taken care of for a while, and I have new piggies.